I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. We're learning more about what the new Flagler County Sheriff's Office Operations Center will look like. County commissioners unanimously approved plans for a 2-story building that will span nearly 52,000 square feet on an 8.5-acre parcel of land off Commerce Parkway. The building would be twice the size of the Sheriff's Office's previous headquarters that was abandoned in 2018 due to mold issues. Estimates show the new building will cost $20 million and will be paid for by bond over 15 years. County Administrator Jerry Cameron stressed the importance of this project.
We can't wait to kick this project off until all of those questions are answered, because we do have a commitment to the clerk of courts. Plus, we have a sheriff, as he pointed out earlier, that is operating in an environment that just is very difficult to have unity of command. And I, quite frankly, as a law enforcement professional myself, do not know how he has maintained the efficiencies that he has.
Prior to the approval, Commissioner Greg Hansen asked a pivotal question of Susan Gant, Senior Vice President of Architects Design Group, which is designing the space.
I'd like to speak to the design of the air conditioning and air moving system. We don't want any mold.
Yes, Commissioner.
So has that been taken into consideration?
Yes, high efficiency. We've also got components within that system that should eradicate any buildup of particulate matter. We have above average air changes coming through, so they do know what they're doing on that, and certainly nobody wants to hear that word, especially the design team.
The site also has room for a possible 30,000 square foot expansion in the future. Scammers are on the hunt in Flagler County. Karen Johnson has the details.
It all began when a resident in Flagler County was called by someone impersonating a Flagler County Sheriff's deputy, saying the homeowner's son would be arrested unless payment was received in the amount of $6,500 in the form of gift cards. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley says the first hint it was a scam was when the caller ID'd himself as a Flagler County Sheriff's captain.
The Flagler County Sheriff's Office does not have captains. We will never call you and say that unless you pay X number of dollars, we're going to arrest you. That's not how the system works.
Sheriff Staley says if you receive a call resembling this one, hang up immediately. It's a scam. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
How safe is the Sheltering Tree cold weather shelter during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Sue Bickings, the chair of the Sheltering Tree at the Church on the Rock in Bunnell, says it is safe.
The Department of Health, Sue Reese, and another nurse were there to do COVID check-in at the front door. We did temperature checks. Everyone wears a mask when they're inside, except when eating or lying down on their cot.
Flagler County Health Department Officer Bob Snyder approved of what the Sheltering Tree was doing.
Sue and I have been in touch over the phone. Gosh, we spoke probably 3 months ago with respect to your planning for cold weather shelters. You've done a great job, and you're doing everything right. Also, Pastor Jim, we know him real well, and I'm glad that you're still collaborating with Sue Reese on our team.
To listen to more of what Sue Bickings had to say about the Sheltering Tree cold weather shelter, download the Flagler Radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, the Sheltering Tree needs help. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Flagler School's Principal and Assistant Principal of the Year have been named. John Arking has the story.
On Monday, Flagler School Superintendent Kathy Middlestad announced that Jeff Reeves, principal at Matanzas High School, is the district's Principal of the Year. Reeves told WNZF that he was surprised to see Superintendent Middlestad walk in with balloons and celebratory cake.
In comes superintendent and the executive directors, and I thought they were there for my assistant principal because we had nominated her for assistant principal of the year, and it turns out it was for me. So in shock and wonderfully surprised at what transpired and truly blessed.
Reeves says the honor is really due to a team effort at making some very positive changes.
First of all, I work with an amazing team, and I'm blessed and fortunate to have such great educators and staff around me to accomplish our goals. When I arrived in 2017, we wanted to tackle a couple points for the superintendent at the time, James Tager, was focused on was graduation and acceleration. And so when I took over here, our graduation rate was 83%. And I can tell you that our graduation rate for 2020, our graduate class just had in June, we're at 95.3%. So in the years we've been here, we've gone to 92, 94, 95, and 95% respectively in those years here.
Also named Monday was Stacia Collier, assistant principal at Buddy Taylor Middle School, as the district's assistant principal of the year. Both will now represent Flagler schools for the statewide principal and assistant principal achievement award for outstanding leadership. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm John Erking.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's morning news. I'm Amy Cherry.